developments in the last few years are very encouraging because smaller cities, other cities across the country are growing very rapidly. You go to any state capital and you can have a view on the economy in that state, doing well, doing badly, doesn't matter. The real estate market, even in the slowest state, is very, very strong because of migration. Right? So this urbanization is a very strong driver of India's economic growth, and it is what will support the migration of labor and drive a services economy as well. If you look at, let's say, the US, which is an ultimate service economy right now, I mean, they want to go back to manufacturing to some degree, but this is it's not everybody doing technical jobs. It is teachers, doctors, nurses, government administrators. Those are the bulk of your jobs in the economy. And again, that cannot happen in a rural setting. So what I think India has been doing and will probably be a bigger driver of growth than manufacturing deltas, which should still be positive, is the urbanization theme in the country.
Urbanization.
Right.
And how do you play that? I mean, I understand the concept, but what kind of companies are the best play? Because it sounds pretty vast, the whole theme.
Yeah. And there's a lot of associated things that should benefit from urbanization. One, of course, very obviously real estate. There is this data from a few years ago. If you look at the per capita constructed space in India, not land per person, but floor space of residential, all India per person is about 10 square meters, 100 square feet. It's like a jail cell. Okay. Tokyo, which is the densest urban city in the world, is twice the India average.
Wow.
Right. China is 4x the India average.
Okay.
And I won't even tell you what the US is. Right? Because we have not built enough homes for a variety of reasons, right? Policy and culture or whatever you call it. But if you were to take that 10 square meters Surabhi and grow it to 15 square meters, still lower than Tokyo, I would need a bare minimum $2 trillion worth of steel and cement.
Wow.
It's massive.
Just to build so much of real estate, so much housing.
Yes.
Okay.
There is almost infinite demand for all of this. So real estate, housing construction can be a very big theme in India, and it drives growth because as you demand more cement, as you demand more steel, as you demand more appliances, that drives other demand in the country as well. Okay. So I think that can be very, for a longer term investor. Of course, the debate will be which company is doing it, which is not doing it, those are other issues. Education is a very, very strong growing sector in the country. The data, top-down data on household spends on education are very robust. Okay. Very difficult to find stock plays.
Yeah, stock plays, because in the
market.
Listed universe.
Yes.
Yeah.
But when you look at the category spend, education is doing very well. Wow. Healthcare similarly is very, very robust. Now, because of sampling issues, you will assume that everybody goes to private hospitals. No, the penetration of private hospitals, even in urban India, is extremely low. Okay, a majority of people still use the public healthcare system. And as incomes rise and as the country urbanizes, you should see the services of private healthcare continue to grow at a very high compounding rate as well.
Okay, so let me recap this. So the ways to play the great Indian urbanization story, real estate could be one straight, materials, steel, cement, which will be used in building that whole piece, and healthcare services.
Healthcare
and education services, you say.
And I will throw in one more, which we may be ambivalent on how we approach it, is the consumption of processed foods.
Oh, okay.
Right. Now, people who've evolved to a certain degree of income realize that processed foods are bad.
Nothing out of a can, as they say.
Yes. But as incomes rise at the lower end of the income cohort, the aspiration for processed food is very high. Because I could not afford a packet of chips when I was younger, I will provide it to my kid. Right. And this is a conversation I've had with doctors in rural India, that they're facing malnutrition problems because the kids are now consuming a lot more junk food. So again, like I said, you will be ambivalent about how you think about it, but the consumption of processed foods in India is growing.
And in rural India, it's really growing. It might be peaking in urban centers.
That's right. So there are a variety of ways that this urbanization, the J curves that are hit when incomes reach a certain, there's a variety of categories that do very well.